y'all, and welcome to today's video. It is that time again. I have a roundup of palettes that I have been testing, trying, and now I'm ready to share my final thoughts on these palettes. We have indie palettes, mainstream palettes, luxury, drugstore. We have a variety. I'm ready to review them, share with you what I think. Let's jump into it. Getting started, I will tell you that if you want up close video of these swatches, tutorials, I do have videos on all of the palettes that we're going to talk about today. I've been testing them and trying them, some of these for quite a while now, but I've used the shades, I've tried the palettes, I've tested longevity, all of that, and I'm ready to review them. I love doing first impression videos, I love doing tutorials, but I also love following up because I think it's important to let you know after I've tried things more and more times what I really think. So let's start off with this ColourPop palette. I have a pile of palettes here in front of me. So we'll start off with the ColourPop NARUTO. I still have never seen the show, but this palette I think was super cute. So this palette is really good from ColourPop. The formula is really nice. I have enjoyed every look I've created with this palette. I like that we have color and neutral in here. I like that we have some of these cooler tones, some of these warm tones. I like that we have a mix of formulas in here. Mattes with the sparkle to it, shimmers, really intense metallics, mattes. But I know ColourPop has put out several palettes that are kind of in this similar color story. Now, I looked at this side by side with some of the palettes I had. I looked on the ColourPop site, and while I don't think there's like dupes or, you know, duplicate shades, duplicates, you know, I don't think it's exactly on, but I do think ColourPop has been giving us a lot of this red, blue with some neutrals mixed in. But for me personally, I've really enjoyed this palette. I think this color story is really beautiful, and I think it's very easy to put together looks with this color story. I mean, the way they have the palette sectioned, like these 6 shades work so well together, these 6 shades work so beautifully together. You can kind of stick to quads if you want to. These shimmers really go with either side. I have a video on that palette, and then I know I've also included it in a get ready with me. Of course, I'm always testing and trying things when I'm not filming as well, but I do like to create looks. So some of these palettes have their own video, and some of them are also in others. GlamLite, Hershey. They did such a good job with this collection. This was a bit of a surprise for me. I know I love GlamLite. Like, I have been using GlamLite for years. I know they make great formulas, so I wasn't surprised that the quality was good, because that's what I expect. Like, I would be shocked if the quality was not good. But this palette, the Cookies and Cream palette, shocked me in how much I enjoy it. When I saw photos of it online, I knew it would be pretty. I was like, oh, I like that. Like, we have some grays, we have some neutral tones, but we have some blues in there. But the tones of the neutrals were very unexpected, and I'm so pleasantly surprised. Like, this is such a beautiful palette. If you love cool tones, I think you will like this a lot. I love this, and I am not like a huge like gray shadow wearer enthusiast. I do like them from time to time though, but I think the tones, like, this is almost like a blue gray. Instead of that more like black spectrum of the gray, they went with like a bluer tone, and it's super fun. Like, this whole like section right here, it has these like blue undertones, but they're still neutral. So if you love color and you love neutral, and some days you want to wear color but you want to tone it down, check this out. This is obviously blue. It has such a beautiful shimmer sparkle to it. This iridescent blue purple, beautiful. This brown shade with this kind of like yellowy golden undertone, super gorgeous. Like, this palette, again, knew the quality would be great, thought it was pretty, but once I actually had it in my hands, I swatched it. I've worn it on my eyes. I really love this one. And if you're like, that's wonderful, Heather, I just don't like cool tones, the quality in this Hershey milk chocolate palette is phenomenal as well. Very, very cute. Now this one is more neutral, not neutral colorful leaning. It is neutral. We do have some warmer tones here. This almost like peachy warm brown, really beautiful. I do like that in the shimmers they gave us some variety. Like, we have this bronzy shade, we have this deeper. I'm filming later in the day, so y'all have to forgive me. Y'all have to forgive me if I'm mixing up my words a lot. But we have this deeper, more neutral bronze. We have this more kind of like almost cool tone shade. We have this lighter shade. So this is neutral, not neutral / colorful, but it's really beautiful. The formulas in here are super duper nice. It performs the way I expect GlamLite to, but if I'm comparing the two, shockingly, I picked this one with the cool tones. I just think it's super special. But if you're looking for a good neutral palette, you want something that's not massive, because look, you see the size? Check out the milk chocolate palette, because I think the quality is great. Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice. This palette is new from Glaminatrix, of course. It's in their like faux leather, vegan leather packaging. I like this packaging from Glaminatrix. I feel like this style of packaging looks very luxe. It feels high-end, and I'm into it. I also feel like my perception of the brand, it just fits really well. And this is the first time, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the first time that they are not hand pressing their shadows, which I actually think is really cool, because I know Glaminatrix usually sells out very fast, and there can be like long pre-orders because of how long it took to make their palettes. So this is the first palette that was not hand pressed. And I was curious about it when I got it, because I'm like, okay, is this going to be different, or is this going to be the pigmented, beautiful GlamLite that I know and love? And trust, the quality is just as good. It's really, really beautiful formulas in here, very shifty shades, very pretty. I got this palette before it was shown on social media, like before Glaminatrix showed the color story. They sent this to me early enough, and I saw, and I was confused at first. I was kind of like, this is pretty, but I don't really know what type of looks I'm gonna do with this palette. And then I used it for the first time in my video with y'all, and the look was so beautiful. Like, everything performed beautifully. I loved it all. I swatched it, and I'm like, okay, I see what I can do with this. And I've just really enjoyed it. I think Glaminatrix did a great job with this one. So I do have a video, like I said, where I'm testing this for the first time, swatching it, doing a first impression tutorial with y'all. And then I have another video where I did this in like a 3 looks video with this and a couple of other palettes. So definitely check that out, because in that video I played more with these pastel tones. And it's beautiful. Like, I love the pastel looks I create with this. I love the neutral looks I create with this. And the multi-chromes, I'm seeing if I can show you in the mirror, but just go watch my video, because the multi-chromes are beautiful. This shade right here, Vanilla, beautiful, but I can't decide my favorite shade, but today it's Fennel. This one right here, because it shifts from like this yellowy silver, which sounds odd, but it is like a yellow to a silver to like a grass green. I don't know, it's really beautiful and special. And we have a multi-chrome here. We have these very sparkly shades. It's really, really pretty, and you can definitely do like a neutral look with a pop of color with this palette. Maybe put one of these pastels kind of on the inner corner and then do neutrals elsewhere. Whatever you want to do, it's way, way more like versatile than I thought when I first saw the palette. And I've enjoyed it. So maybe like, I don't know, it makes me like excited to see what the brand is going to do next. Next up, let's talk about this palette. This palette is so expensive. I have the Industrial Color Pigment 2.0 eyeshadow palette from ISAMAYA. So this was my first time ever trying ISAMAYA Beauty. I passed on her previous launches, but when this industrial palette came out, I'm like, you know, people seem to really love this brand. Let me try it out. And I'm really happy I did. This is very pricey. It's over $100. I understand the price point though, not just because we have this palette full of beautiful, sparkly, shifty shades, but the packaging is very luxe. Maybe not my personal preference, but it's also like so over the top. I kind of like it now, you know, like it's growing on me. I'm like, all right. Like when I see it, I know what it is, you know, like there's no confusing this for another palette. So I'm into it. Like I'm very open to buying another industrial palette if ISAMAYA does 3.0. Now I already reviewed the lip lac that I bought with this. That, I want every shade under the sun. I don't care that it's a luxury price tag. I will buy every time they come out with one because it's a beautiful formula. Love. But this palette I really enjoyed too. So if you were looking for a palette of all special shades, but maybe you don't want to order from one of the smaller indie brands, you'd rather make your purchase at Selfridges, you know, like a big retailer, this palette I think is a great choice. Very pricey, like I said, but multi-chromes, flaky shadows, things like that, especially like when they're these nice formulas, they are more on the pricey side. So I understand the price. Listen, I spend some money on multi-chromes. I love shimmer. I love sparkle. So, you know, like if you're looking at this and you're like, I would never pay $100 for an eyeshadow palette or $100 plus or whatever. That's totally cool. I understand. No worries. But if you're looking at this and you're like, yeah, I think I'm going to spend my money, I think you will not regret it. It's very, very beautiful, and we have lots of different formulas in here. This shade right down here and this one as well definitely remind me of Pat McGrath's flaky type shades. And then we have like some more just kind of smooth shimmers. This one here. We have some kind of duochromes. We have some that are more multi-chrome. I really like this. I think it's fun. I've enjoyed it. As somebody who loves sparkle, who has a lot of sparkle, I've enjoyed reaching for this palette. I just think it's super beautiful and I don't regret my purchase. In fact, I have debated back and forth going and ordering the first version. Help me decide. Talk me into it. Talk me out of it. Do I need it? Do I not need it? Because I'm leaning towards maybe I need to buy the first one too. I like that. Do I need it? No. But I had a great experience with this 2.0 palette. Okay, let's talk about Morphe Meredith Duxbury. I've taken my time with this because I really wanted to gather my thoughts. Again, huge congratulations to Meredith Duxbury. She seems super duper sweet, obviously beautiful, obviously incredibly talented and engaging. Morphe, I have not tried a Morphe eyeshadow or pressed pigment or whatever in years. So when I saw this palette launch and it was colorful, you know, we got a big rainbow palette here. It was with a creator. I thought, you know what? Let me support. Let me try it out. I am wearing this palette on my eyes today. And this does remind me very much of like good Morphe. It makes me think of like the original Jaclyn Hill palette, not the favorites, but where like the white packaging, I think it was 2017. It kind of reminds me of that in terms of the mattes. I will say, if you want punch from your look, like if you want this shade right here to show up like this in the pan on your eyes, definitely use a light eye primer or a white eye primer. Pack the shade on and then lightly buff and blend. You definitely want to more pack these shades on, but I think Meredith did a great job on this palette. Very cute. It's definitely, again, that Morphe formula, where Morphe kind of had a period where it was like they had a good formula, it was really nice, worked really well, blended really well, and then it kind of went where it was like hit or miss. I think this is the good Morphe formula, in my opinion. I think the layout of this is cute. For me, I'm a shimmer sparkle girl, so just having like 3 bronzy gold shimmers and then 2 more cool tone shimmers is not my personal preference, of course, because I'm like a little raccoon, see something shiny, want something shiny. But I do think a collaboration should be true to the collaborator, and I think this is pretty. I'm glad I tested it out, tried it, gave Morphe a second, third chance. I was trying to think of what I would maybe also compare the formula to, but I really think that original white packaging Jaclyn Hill palette is the best I can compare it to. I also bought the little palette. I've already reviewed the other things in the collection if you want to check my videos out. I did, I think, a 3 looks video with this collection. This is very cute too. These for me are definitely not really face shades. I know this is a Power Multi Effects palette, but I felt best when I wore these on my eyes. Definitely feel like we've got the same formulas going on in here, although these are more like metallics, so you can use them in multiple different ways if you want to. I just more preferred them on the eyes. Let's talk about Ensley Rain Cosmetics Strawberry Moon palette, because obsessed. Obsessed. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. Listen, I know it's such a like cliche YouTube word to say, but obsessed is the word. It's so beautiful, y'all. Like, it's so good. I love it. I know it's gonna be like one of my favorites of the year. I'm confident it's gonna be one of my favorites. It is beautiful. First of all, the packaging. I've said it once, I'll say it again, because I think it every time I look at it. I want to live here. I want to be like living in a mushroom, but I can't because I don't know why. But look at this color story. The color story is beautiful. When I saw photos of this palette online, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. But I was also thinking, okay, maybe some of these shades up here are a little similar. Absolutely not. Watch my video, watch the swatches. They are not too similar. They are beautiful. The way they shift is gorgeous. I would pay $25 just for this shade. Honestly, I've done it before. I've paid $25 for a single shadow. Do not judge me. I would do it again for this shadow. This shade also is so unexpectedly beautiful, like this holographic shimmer to it. The mattes are pigmented, but easy to blend, easy to build, easy to work with. Like, I love this. I love this palette so much. I love the selection of shades as well. I love we have some light shades, some mid-tone shades, and some deep shades. I love that we have shimmers that are light, shimmers that are deeper. Everything about this palette I love. I love this palette. Hey, I love this palette so much. So there you have it. 8. Did I say 8? Did I count up 8? I don't know. Palettes I've been loving, testing, trying, reviewed for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will tell you quickly what is on the rest of my face, just in case you are curious. The Hershey Milk Chocolate Face and Body Bronzer is what's kind of like got me glowing today. I'm wearing as a highlighter on my face the Ketracel White Palette from Adept, a favorite Dior Rosy Glow Blush in the shade Berry. I'm wearing on my lips Carnage from Unearthly, and then on top from that Ensley Rain Strawberry Moon collection, I'm wearing Cotton Candy Dreamscape Gloss. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, have you tried any of these palettes? Do you love any of these palettes? Do you not like them? If you bought them, let me know your review. If I had to pick one palette from this video and say, like, this is the winner, it's this one. This is not a ranking. I don't want to do a ranking today. I will rank all my palettes at the end of the year, but this palette would have to be the winner for today. It's beautiful. I tried some beautiful ones. I tried some that were good, not great, maybe not my personal formulas, but I always love following up with y'all. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you're having an amazing day. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you soon in another one. Bye.